Hello, everyone. Do you still remember that nice essay you wrote when you were in primary school about the topic myself? Most of us loved that topic. It didn't look like we had different styles in writing that particular essay, but you always start with your name, and after your name, your class will follow. Then you have your hometown, the name of your parents, your age, your complexion. I am dark in complexion. You see people write now, I am fair in complexion. I am chocolate. So the whole concept is about self. Self is so important. When you pick the new curriculum, this substrand or topic has been put there in their curriculum. So JHS 1 or Basic 7, the Basic 7 pupils are to learn about self-identity or self-concept. When you go to the SHS level, we have that in their social studies. I think that's their first topic that they study. And it's a bit confusing, especially when it comes to the types of self. So I want you to follow me or join me in this discussion where I take you through the meaning of self, self-identity, self-concept, and then we pick a few terms. Then we also look at some other sections of this particular topic or substrand. For me personally, as a teacher, I always try to find out why they put some of these things in their syllabus. So most of the terms there might look or sound so complex to the children or the pupil, the learners, especially those at the basic level. But I think the teachers have the capacity to break them down at their level and make them understand why it's being put there for them to study. At the SHS level, we know it's the second cycle education, and it's a place where students are made to understand that after that level of education, you are going into the tertiary, and then that is where you begin to start your life, put your life together, organize yourself, and become a responsible adult. Most people believe that people begin to reform or reselect their career choices at that level. But I think educators sat down and realized that it is very necessary to bring it to the basic school level because at that place too, the basic school students or the learners are able to form their career choices. And some of them actually know the courses or they plan to choose a particular course that they want to study at the SHS level. So making choices in life depend on how one has assessed himself and knows his potentials, his skills, talent, how gifted he is in a certain field of study or in a particular area, then the person can make the right choices. So that is why self-concept is needed and it should be taught at every level. No matter what, the student needs to be brought to that level of consciousness to understand that it's a beginning of life. You have to set a right foundation for yourself and begin to understand why you should go for such choices. But a few keywords here. So we look at self, meaning of self. So the totality of a person's physical makeup, psychological makeup, emotional makeup, social makeup, everything that has to do with the person's attitude, character, the way of thinking, the perceptions, the person's mentality about life, about things. All these things put together is what we call self. So it's just the totality of all. And in some books, people write, or it is stated that is the whole being of a person, the whole being of a person with regards to the things I've mentioned. So you need to always remember that the element I've mentioned concerning the person's psychological makeup, the person's social makeup, how does the person relate with people, how does the person feel, what are the person's feelings within. So that is the meaning of self. So you can just simply put that in your own words. When it comes to self-identity, where we now add the identity, so identity can be gotten from the word identify. It's a derivation of the word identify. So to identify is to have knowledge about something, get to know something or what the thing actually is. So self-identity is just like self-knowledge. So here you state that the knowledge a person has about what? About his or her own physical makeup. That is the way the person looks, the physical features. Is a person fair? Is a person tall? Some are dark, some are fair, some are slim, and we can't be the same. We are special. We are unique in our own way. When the learners know these things, they begin to have the feeling and begin to accept themselves. So that is self-identity. Self, the total or the whole being of the person's physical makeup, perceptions, or psychological makeup, social makeup, or how the person relates with people, emotional makeup, what the person feels, or the person's feelings, Then we talk about the character, the behavior, temperament, all those things put together. Then when the person now comes to the realization of getting to know who he is or she is, then we call that self identity or self concept. Then what happens when the person gets to know the kind of person he is or she is? It means that this person is going to see himself as unique or herself as very special, created in a special way. Not to say that he is more important than other people. That has to be taken off the mind of the learners or the students. They need to understand that that is their personality. So another term there is personality. How unique or special someone feels within a particular society. And when you begin to have this feeling and you are with your friends, you accept yourself in a society to the point that you can have that self-belief. So if I know how unique or special I am able to now develop a kind of self-belief that I can do certain things after realizing my potentials or my abilities. And the self belief that an individual has is what we call self confidence. So, self confidence is also another term under the self concept or self identity. So, I think you have taken note of that. Self identity, personality, then we have self confidence. When we move from the self confidence, now that the person has that self belief. The person believes that I can do this, I have these potentials. What are those potentials? The potentials could be the skills, a talent that the person has realized and knows that, okay, when it comes to this particular subject, I can do very well in that area. When it comes to this thing, football, playing football, when it comes to art, drawing, I am good at that particular area. So the person now realizes his or her potentials, and that is what we put under what we call capabilities. Capabilities. So the capabilities is what a person can do and bring good results. What a person, the ability of a person to do something that can produce positive or good results. That is capability. So that is also another term you can also have under this whole thing about self concept. Now let me take you through the part that students also get confused about, the types of self. So I've had students ask me whether we have 3 or 4 types. So I'm going to talk about 4 types of self. We look at the real self. Talking about the real self. Now every individual naturally is created to possess certain character or behavior. So a person's present character, your present character now, how you behave, that is what we call your real self. That is how you are. That is your real self. When you now aspire to become something else, maybe you are a very timid person or an introvert. You are not the type that is outspoken. You don't express yourself. You are the reserved type. Such people, yes, we know. So that forms part of your real self. So that is your present behavior or that is your present attitude or character. Then if you now work on it to change to become an outspoken person, it means that you want to live another life. So you are painting a mental picture, another mental picture of yourself. Okay, another mental picture of yourself, what you want to become. That is what we call the other self. So we have the real self and the other self. The real self is your present attitude or character. Your other self is what the individual wants to be. That person, what you want to be, what I want to be. So I don't like my present character. I want to change it. I don't like the career that I find myself in. So I want to change it. So that is what I want to be. So that becomes my other self. So I think you get the first two. It kind of looks like the other self is the direct opposite of the real self. Now let's come to another one. Real other self. Now with this one, you know yourself very well and you know who you are. But there is a thinking you have. You are now looking at other people and you are thinking that those people perceive something about you. So the real other self is what the individual thinks other people perceive about him or her. So that is the real other self. Maybe you know you are a very honest person and you are a very straightforward person. You talk to people and you are sociable. You get it. Now, You are thinking that people see you to be a mean person. So that perception, that thinking that you have becomes your real other self. You thinking that other people perceive you to be another thing or behave in another way. That is your real other self. So I think you get that one too. Then the fourth one, ideal self, the ideal other. With this one, it is what people want you to be. What people want you to be. You get it? Ideal other. Now, with this, perhaps somebody has seen a certain potential in you or knows that you have this talent, and the people think that you should become something like this. You want to be a doctor, or you feel that you have interest in journalism, and there are certain things you've seen you could do very well with, have that connection to that particular career. But your parents want you to be something else. Your parents want you to be now this one is not what you want to be, but what other people want you to be. So it kind of looks like they feel that is the ideal career you can choose, the best thing that can shape your life or put you on the right track. So people wanting you to be something. And at times it helps because we all need a lot of counseling and guidance in our choices that we make in life. So people, we might be thinking that, okay, this is the right way and we are on the right path. But people can look at what we do and also say or counsel us or tell us or put us, give us some advice and encouragement, and we'll be on the right track and make better choices. So that is the ideal other. I think you get all the four types of self. Your parents or the people who want you to become something will do everything possible to make sure that you get to that point where they want you to be. When it comes to the other self, it is what you are aspiring to become. So you engage in a lot of things that will make you reach that point that you want to be. That is hard work, and you even go for training courses and go through some education so that you can shape your life and change who you are presently to become what you want to become. So when you are able to write these summaries down, you clearly see the differences. So there's nothing to be confused about. But if you have questions, you can put them in the comment section and I will respond to them. Now let's look at, why must we know ourselves? Why must we know ourselves? Self-identity is so important. Having knowledge about it. Why is it so important for someone, a person, an individual, to have knowledge about him or herself? One key thing, knowing ourselves or knowing who we are will help us make the right choices in life. So I think there are so many choices that because we are now starting life, as young people, as learners, you are going to make decisions. People make decisions concerning courses that they will choose or in a higher level of education. People will also make decisions about their career as well. People will also make decisions even concerning their married partner. These are some of the things that you can make choices about. So knowing yourself will now give you the clear understanding of the type of person, the kind of person you are. You are able to assess yourself very well and take the right decisions. Point number two, when you know yourself, you now begin to accept yourself in the society where you find it. Some people look down upon themselves. They think people who do certain things they don't do are more special, more endowed, and those people have a certain advantage, okay, that they don't have. But that is not it. You also have something within you. And the moment you begin to realize the kind of person you are and the things you are able to do, you now begin to accept yourself. You now find yourself in a group social interaction where when people are contributing their ideas, you also feel part of that group and give your ideas, and probably you are going to come out with the best because sharing those ideas will even help you shape your own thoughts as well. So we talk about right choices, making right choices, and then also acceptance in the society. Another one, very, very key. Some people don't know their likes and dislikes, the right taste. You should know the right taste. Even when it comes to our dresses, our colors, the food we eat, we know the taste we have. Some people prefer certain things to other things. And when you look at every individual, they say the fingers are not the same. We are different. So knowing yourself will help you know your taste in life, the right thing that you need to pick as your like and what you need to reject because you dislike them. Another significance of knowing oneself is the discovery of our potentials, your capabilities. You now know what you can do, your talent. You will now know that you are a very good footballer. And if you train hard, you could join an academy and become one of the best footballers in the world. You know that singing is your thing. You know that handiwork, craft work, those areas actually excite you and you would love to do them more. So you now know your potential. Dancing, drawing, art, so many things. So that is one importance of knowing oneself as well. Then another point is that when you know yourself, you know your strength and weaknesses. You know your strength and weaknesses. That you can now build your strength to overcome your weaknesses. We all have our weaknesses. There are things that we cannot stand. There are things that can always become a flaw in our life. We need to understand that these things can be managed. The flaws can be managed. The mistakes can be managed. At a point in time in everyone's life, they will begin to pop up. So when they come, how do you handle them? It is when you now recognize that these are your strengths, then you now build on the strength to overshadow the weaknesses. So that is also one importance of knowing oneself. Then you build a lot of confidence. Knowing yourself makes you build confidence, self-confidence. You begin to believe in yourself. You don't feel timid. You don't feel shy when you are doing something. You are able to express yourself in a group, in a class. When you go out there and you are part of your colleagues at the workplace, you are able to deliver and do everything possible to come out with good results. So that is it. Then also knowing oneself helps to build interpersonal relationship. Now you understand that this is the type of person you are. You know your temperament. You know you are quick-tempered. You know you believe people or trust people easily. And when you do that, people take you for granted and they feel that's your weakness. But when you begin to realize all these things, you now know how to interact with people. You set limits, you set boundaries for yourself, and make sure that you interact with the kind of people that you want to interact with, and you have the kind of conversation that will go into that. You know how to measure them, and that will help you not offend people. Definitely, you are going to step on toes, but if you are able to know yourself very well, you'll be able to control such errors or mistakes. So finally, I'll end with how you can develop your capability. Capability development is one key area under this particular topic or substrand. When you look at capability, we said the potentials, what somebody can do, the abilities of a person, and that thing the person can do should actually bring positive results and help the person take you to the next level. So how do you develop these things? You need to go through education and training. Education and training are key. There are new skills you can learn and you receive some technical know-how. You know you have the ability to go about certain things you want to achieve in life. Another thing, you need guidance and counseling. We need that for our development. That is in terms of our capabilities. Guidance and counseling can help a lot. There are people who have gone through the stages that we are now going through. As new learners, your teachers can guide you, your parents can guide you, your religious leaders can give you some counseling or guidance, and people that you respect, people who have experienced what you've gone through, and they will be the right people to tell you the right way to go. Then have a personal initiative. Be creative. Be creative. Come up with new things. Yes, all footballers are doing creative things. People who make shoes are doing creative things. People who come up with inventions, new things, are coming up with modern things, new things, new ideas. And you can be able to improve on what you already have or the existing quality that you already have. Then have self-determination. Self-determination. It will help you. When you are self-determined, no one can discourage you because you always want to persevere and you are looking at the positive side of things where people are pessimistic about or they are skeptical, they doubt what you can do. You, because you are self-determined, you push through. You fail, you fall, you start again, all over again, pick up yourself, correct the errors, keep moving. Self-determination. It can help you develop your capability. Then you should also plan. Learn how to plan. Plan your finances. Plan your time. Time management. Very, very key, especially in the area of the learners, the students. In the life of every learner, you must plan. You want to score your A's, obtain your A's, your clean grades that you want, you aspire. You are aiming at those things. So you have to plan. Plan your lessons. Have a personal timetable. Know how to go about it and make sure you are very committed. When you do that, you can be able to develop your capability. Then learn to take risk. Some people are too scared. They are doubting. What if it doesn't work? What if this thing doesn't go well? They are already thinking about failure at the end when they've actually not started. Take action. It should be a sensible risk. So yes, you have to take risk, but it has to be a sensible risk, of course. This is the part that excites me a lot, and it also worries me because no matter how good you are, you need a conducive environment to develop your capability. Maybe you are talented in a certain field, but that environment that you find yourself, you can't actually plug in the tools, the right resources are not around, are not within that particular environment to shape you and make you become what you want to become. So you need a conducive environment for your development of your capabilities. So that is also very, very important. So parents should provide a conducive environment. If the children have to learn and obtain the good grades, they need that conducive learning environment at home. Same way, when they come to the school, we teachers have to provide a conducive environment for them so they can study. And the environment can affect. I can tell you for a fact that some of the places where we had to start school or continue with our basic school because they didn't have certain resources, ICT, the equipment, internet, and all these things. We didn't have them, and it affected our research, our work, the kind of things that we need to put in our writing to make or come out with the best. We couldn't do it, and these things were not available. So I actually need a conducive environment where all the necessary materials are there. Sometimes you cannot have it 100%, but you need something to actually tap in as a resource to shape your life. So I believe this brief lecture or lesson has helped you and you've been able to make some notes over there. You can look at what you have in the book and try to reconcile them. Make sure you have enough point to write in case you have questions on self-concept, capability development, self-identity, and any other thing. Areas that are confusing are the ones I've touched on. And I believe that this lesson or video will be very helpful. Share with people out there and make sure you like, put your comment there in the comment section. If this is the first time you are watching me, subscribe to my channel, scroll down, click the notification bell. Anytime there's a new video, get a notification and also watch. Thank you for joining me here on JCL Tutorials. See you again another time. Bye.